Welcome back. Now that you have your 2024 goals mapped out, let's line them up on the spreadsheet shown in the workbook. I've also attached it as an Excel spreadsheet so that we can make some plans to bridge any gaps that you may have. Because you can't just wish that you had 3 more closings. You must actually work for it. But gosh, there's really nothing worse than working with no results, right? And what if your efforts and all that work don't align with your God-given talents? It's defeating, right? Especially defeating if you are also working with emotional buyers or sellers. And because it's the largest purchase of a lot of people's lives, they're kind of emotional by nature. They're actually looking to you for these answers and guidance on all these unknown things. And you're out there basically dodging landmines all day because you're waiting on a lot of the answers and the unknown things from other industry experts that collaborate with you on answers. Oh yeah, and then you also have to do all that juggling for free if you don't get any money ever until you close something, and actually you spend money with no guarantees, lots of empty promises, which makes the support people in your life, or maybe even you in your own head, constantly question when you're going to get a real job. That's our plight, right, agents? Then on the other hand, there's some of you who may sometimes fib to yourself thinking you're doing all this work when in reality you showed 3 homes and then hit happy hour after because they didn't want to make an offer, and then before you know it, they've ghosted you. After 20 years in this business, I've heard both of those sad songs way too many times, which is why I'm going to share with you my unpopular opinion. There's enough business for everyone. So it's not competition that kills your business. It's your mindset, it's the distractions, it's your excuses and lack of a specific game plan. That's what does us in. We've notated your performance from last year on here. And in a typical business, performance gaps are typically closed by doing things right. But you've heard me say before that there's no one right way to do real estate. That's why we are using your performance last year and we couple it with your goals this year to define the opportunity gaps in this exercise. And then we're going to design a bridge for that opportunity gap by doing the right things for you. Performance gap, doing things right. Opportunity gap, doing the right things, right? So effectively, you got to start putting the right butts in the right seats. If you need some inspiration, here you go. Let's take a look at 2 real-life examples from agents that I work with. They are from, the first 2 here on top are from when we did a similar version of this workshop last January. One of the agents I mentor, so awesome, but she was so super hard on herself because she tried, and yes, she failed at a FSBO campaign that she spent actually a sizable amount of money on from a very reputable YouTuber. In addition to taking his intensive training, she really did give it a good try for 8 months of the entire year. Her response, not comfortable with the pitch, would be way too vague if she wanted to continue to cultivate that lead as a lead source. But once we talked it out and she counted the expense then as a lesson and stopped beating herself up about the money and not being able to close even one of the leads because that kind of lead source wasn't the right seat for her cute little butt. And it didn't really align with who she is. And that, my friends, is a very valuable lesson. That is one way to bridge the opportunity gap. The second response was from an agent who wanted to be more consistent with his sphere of influence. He is less vague here, which I love, and I love the conversion rate. 5% is killer, right? But committing to a blog and a newsletter, that's a huge undertaking. So to really bridge that gap, I asked him what he was going to blog about, how many hours in his week he was going to commit to it, and how he was going to even get it out there to his SOI that he has the blog. Like, did he have an email campaign? Did he already have scripts? How was he going to do that? Because a lot of agents, they have these great ideas and they end up putting all this effort into it, but then they have a hard time coming up with things, and then they let the mental weight of it all further derail their progress or their confidence. So setting yourself up for success by getting real is key when designing your real estate life. In addition to all those questions I asked him, he realized that even though he was going to just be using a service to help him do this for him, that he really needed to define his budget and commit to a specific length of time to that new marketing endeavor, which he did, and it ended up going pretty well for him. So you need to be that detailed when bridging the gap to measure your progress. The last one on there, that's mine from this year. I am so grateful for my brokerage, LPT Realty. We have this lead generation opportunity that I've never seen before, and it has helped my team close over one additional deal a month in 2023. But as always, there's room for improvement. So that's why in 2024, I want to implement into our team calendar a new team calendar specifically designated for the agents on duty that day who are taking those leads. Plus, on the hunt for immediate agents in Texas. And so I'm going to make a concerted effort to do that by February 1st. If you're an agent here in Florida or anywhere nationwide and you're looking for leads, leadership, and leveraging economy of scale to sell more real estate, we'd love to see if we're the right seat for your butt. Reach out anytime. In the meantime, in analyzing your opportunity gap, put down the ego, pick up the mirror, and use the data to get you out of limbo and on with your life.